time to reap some souls. I've been a blacksmith armorer for over 30 years. I've created weapons for over 200 feature films. This is Man-at-Arms. This is the Black Star Sickle Swords from Soul Eater. As always, I start off by drawing a paper template. The aluminum back spike started off as a 1-inch thick piece of 6061 aircraft aluminum. It wasn't quite long enough to actually do the back spike, so I put it into the forge and forged it out to make it longer and give it the spike shape. We did a lot of machining on these pieces. There was a hole going up the long handle end of it that was drilled with a 1-inch diameter drill bit. And in the center of that hole, we drilled a 5/16 pilot hole and threaded that 3/8/16. And then we were able to pick up old anodized aluminum tubing and fit that through the 1-inch hole. There was also 2 separate pieces of steel that I had William the Elder machine on the lathe. So he would turn down the pommel end that accommodated the chain link was soldered into it, and another little collar at the top. The blade was the simplest portion of this. I cut out 2 blades out of 1/4 inch thick 1075 steel, and in this case I did a vertical grind on it, giving it kind of a flat kind of wedge shape going through there instead of a hollow grind on the edges. When the blades were ground to 120 grit, I was able to put them into the heat treating oven, quench them in oil to harden them, and temper them. Right now it's too hard to use, it would break. By tempering it, it'll make it a real cutting weapon. We also had a little tab coming in the back of the blades that were drilled with a 1/4 inch hole that matched to a 1/4 inch hole that we drilled into the back spike, which was made out of aluminum. So this blade is now sanded down to 600 grit. It's as fine as I'm going to go on this machine, and Brian will take it over to the buffer using a coarse emery compound on a sisal wheel, put a pre-polish on it, and then final polish it. We had a whole counterboard into the placement where the tab on the steel blade fit in, and I annealed 2 little pins of 1/4 inch diameter brass rod. This is a type of acid called pickle. When these pieces come out of here, they'll be bright gold again. All the copper oxides from the brass will be off the surface, and it'll be dead soft, so when we hammer it, it'll smooth down. We set those on the small anvil with rivet sets and peened them over either end to give it a dome mushroom head on either end. So that held the blade together, and everything else was screwed together. The chain was silver soldered with the loop going into the end of the pommel. Kind of a crazy, deadly weapon. You can hold it in your hand, but you get all these chains hanging around, so kind of an interesting one.
Tsubaki's looking good here. She looks hungry.
Thanks for watching Man-at-Arms. Be sure to subscribe. Tell me in the comments what weapon you'd like to see next.